Hello everyone, making this video about this particular add-on just called RaBuffs. It's a really useful add-on for raiding. So let's get to it. For the people that don't know how to set it up, there is a lot of useful things you can see on it. You can track your own buffs and so on. So if you right click on it and you configure, you can see all the settings and options and so on. This is all the buffs that are, all the stuff that it can track in this window. Query. This is your layout. This is where you add new or remove buffs or anything you want to track. Settings. So for buffs, you want to click this. You want to check this. So whenever you're pressing on your buffs, it's gonna decide which is more efficient to buff in the raid. So whenever you're looking at the raid frames, you basically only need to check if people are in range and then just press on the buffs in this window and buffs automatically. But you don't have to do that. You can just look who needs buffs and buff that way if you like. So you can see 1 of 4 has. So my rogue has 42 already. There was another options here. Another option. Which one was it? Generate. Yeah. So you can keep all this like that. And then we go to layout, and then you can actually add buffs here on this bar. So this is where you name them. See about making a new one. Or I'm just gonna change one. I'm just gonna change fortitude, for example. Fortitude. Just gonna remove this. I'll show you how to just add a new one. Just name it whatever you like. Fortitude. And then you select what buffs or whatever you want to track. So we go to priest buffs. There is all the priest buffs you can track or buff to the add-on. So we're going to power or fortitude. This is where you post your buffs, missing buffs. So you keep it on raid, party chat. Group restrictions. So if you don't want to buff a specific group, you can unclick some of those. Or if you want to buff specific classes only, you can play with this as well. But we don't want to do any of that. So we just press add. And then is your buff where it comes down here. When you have your mouse over the buff and press shift, you can see who is it on, who miss. Otherwise, you just see who is missing it. And if you press Control and right click, it will send it down the bottom. So we're going Control. There we go. Trade. So Control and click. and it shows you the missing buffs basically. So if you hold shift here, you can see the people that are alive or how much mana people have. You can add all these options yourself, all the buffs. So let's try something different here. There is so much you can track here. There's all the alive. The mana is very useful for healers, which I have here. So we can see all the healers mana if you add all the healers classes. And whenever you hold shift, you can see exactly who is missing mana and basically the raid mana. That's the raid healer mana, DPS mana, and you get do that from here. You can check who is in combat. Onyxia Cloak, very useful. Helping Bank, not sure what bank is for. Anyway, to continue with this one. Items. So you'll see there is a lot more things you can track. Almost too much. Protection potions. Very useful. Or very useful. Now, let's see how do you buff with addon. So basically, we just click on it and it buffs. It decided that it was more efficient to buff a group buff instead of single buff, and it buffed the group buff by itself. So I'll remove my buff and see what happens. I'll click again. Spot buff. Don't have to target anyone at all. Remove spirit. There's our spirit buff. Press spirit. Okay, everyone has spirit now, so I'll remove it again. There we go, one person missing spirit. Single spirit. Simple as that. Couldn't be any easier. And it's just so useful for raid, especially if you're leading or anything like that. If you want to keep an eye on buffs and protection potions and all sorts like that, it's super useful. So the buffs are as simple as that. That's what I use. I've been using it for a few years, I think. Where the mana is climbing up. Shadow protection. Again, one click. Does group buff because it's more efficient. Single buff because only I need it. It's basically amazing for RaBuffs or spot buffing whenever someone dies. You just keep clicking. And the thing is, if someone else has it, let's say if everyone had it and you're all buffing at the same time, you would not buff the same people. I wouldn't let you because it communicates, or I'm pretty sure it communicates, but I think it has a prediction or something where it just doesn't let you. Where if you're just buffing manually, it's very often that two people buff the same group with the same buff at the same time. And if you look at it, so the previous video got cut because I'm using a free software and it's only 10 minutes duration. I'm just going to continue. I was showing you that prayer fortitude is 3k mana. So you can imagine if two people are buffing the same person, it's the same group is going to be very inefficient. The buffs, whenever someone's buff is about to expire, you'll see these bars are gonna start sort of blinking. There's gonna be a little fade at it where you can see. I think it's 5 minutes. Whenever there's 5 minutes, it will show you. The only thing is about spot buffing is whenever it's just the one person having a greater buff and he has like 5 minutes left, and add-on if you click to rebuff, because he has the greater healing, it's not gonna push your single buff because it's a greater buff, and that's what it tells you. So that's why I always ask people for them just to click off the buffs when they need rebuff, so I can see, rather than asking in chat, because I have to go and look at them in the raid frames and find them and then manually buff, which is slow. This is very quick for doing all that. I think I might fit another add-on here in the same video. Okay, probably not. I'll leave it for another time.